Hey guys, welcome back to the channel that is obsessed with cheesy designer brands. And which better cheesy designer fragrance brand to discuss than Jean-Paul Gaultier, the brand that is known for that iconic masculine physique bottle that was actually, interestingly enough, was modeled after myself. Unfortunately, they don't give me royalties for that bottle design, but hey, their fragrances are pretty good, so I forgive them. Hey guys, the first reviews of our previous release, Mr. Momentum, are already looking great, and our next release is going to be Mr. Mesmeric, a mature date night fragrance that brings a new idea to the industry. It's going to be a limited pre-order like our previous releases, so make sure you sign up for the pre-order notifications in the link down below. So I did a previous buying guide video where I bought every Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrance that was around at that time, and I reviewed every single one. And today I thought I'd do a sort of follow-up video since they have released new fragrances like Elixir, the Scandal Absolu, and they've re-released Gaultier², which I think is a re-release of the 2005 fragrance. So now it's come back out again. So today I'm kind of doing like a tier list or just a general ranking list. I've taken every single men's fragrance on their official website, excluding Le Male Lover, because to be honest, I've just never tried it and it's limited edition. So by the time a lot of people are watching this video, it'll probably be out of production anyway. So for the sake of this video, we're not including Le Male Lover, but apparently it's okay. It's not getting the best reviews. I think it's just an okay scent. We have 12 spots here. I'm gonna go through each fragrance release and give it a place, a ranking in that list. So once the fragrance has its own number, I'll then go through the list at the very end. I'm not gonna lock them in again, guys, because people did not like me doing that. I'm gonna rearrange them in case I don't like the placement of the ranking. So going from worst to best, we're going to rank Jean-Paul Gaultier's fragrances. Overall, I would describe Jean-Paul Gaultier as a very youthful, sexy, fun, casual brand. It's not a serious, professional brand like something like Prada, which is a little more elegant. Jean-Paul Gaultier go for the more sweet side of things. Even in their fresh scents, they go for sweeter notes like the coconut notes in their Le Beau line, for example. Enough talking, let's start ranking. Let's start off first with the two worst fragrances in the brand. Easy to tell that these are the worst. First of all, number 12, I'm gonna put Le Male Pride Edition. I used to own a bottle of this, so now I believe they have a different packaging for it, but I think the notes are pretty much exactly the same from last year to this year. I think that on the Fragrantica, the blood orange is listed as citruses now, but to me, they seem like they're the same fragrance. But trying that fragrance out, it was very boring, really generic. It was citruses, some white florals, and laundry detergent musk. So it smells very synthetic, not bad longevity, definitely a spring and summertime fragrance, but it was just very underwhelming, unisex. I would put that definitely as the worst fragrance in the brand at number 12. And then I have Gaultier² here as a little sample card. Yes, you might be wondering, Omar, why are you reviewing a fragrance you haven't actually got a proper bottle of, or not even a sample? Because once you smell it in the sample card here, you just don't want to even try this fragrance. It smells very generic. So this smells like, again, a very safe unisex offering, kind of like how YSL Myself came out. This is JPG's equivalent in my opinion. It's got 3 notes: jasmine, sandalwood, and musks. Okay, looking at the note breakdown, it's actually ambergris, which gives a muskiness anyways to the scent. I think this is probably an okay minimalist fragrance. It's probably an eccentric molecule-esque kind of scent where it's minimalist. It probably smells pleasant in both genders. Hopefully it has a good amount of longevity. Yeah, it seems to have pretty good longevity looking at Fragrantica. So I kind of appreciate what this scent is. I know I'm cheating, guys, but I'm just really not interested in trying this properly. But hey, if you guys want to fill in the gap in this video, let us in the comments down below. What is your full experience of Gaultier²? It just doesn't seem that interesting to me personally. And then moving on to the big boys. Let's start off with the original Le Male, a classic from the 90s, mid-90s. This took a clean barbershop lavender DNA that the era was known for, and then it kind of made it a little more fun, sexy, loud, playful, a lot more sweet with the cinnamon, the tonka bean, and the vanilla. A really sexy fragrance that balanced the sweetness with the fresh lavender and mint. I think this is iconic. It's a classic. It smells a tiny bit outdated, not as strong as it used to be, but I still think it's a very solid scent. I would personally still put the original Le Male in rank number 6. I feel like it's going to be around there because it's a timeless classic and I still think it's worth getting. 37.9% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys really want to see our channel grow, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Le Male Le Parfum, this is going to be high up in the list because this is one of the best from the brand. Really takes that original DNA, makes it more modern, more relevant, stronger. This lasts 10 to 12 hours as opposed to the 6 hours of the original, has medium projection, a really handsome, more sophisticated, a little bit more mature, romantic take on Le Male. Great for dates, for general evenings. One of the best evening fragrances ever to do it. Great for 3 out of 4 seasons if you exclude the summertime. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I'm personally gonna put this at number 1. I think it's probably the best fragrance in the brand. Le Male Elixir. Now this was a heavy hitter that came out recently and kind of took the fragrance world by storm. Really highly rated on Fragrantica. I don't think it deserves it, honestly. It's a bit too highly rated. I mean, I did actually have a sample before, but then I actually got this little mini figurine bottle. Like so, guys. Look, it's so cute. It's the physique modeled after myself. I do like the scent. It is loud, beastly, head-turning vanilla, really sexy. It has a slight honeyed effect to it as well. Some people call this the designer Naxos. Xerjoff Naxos is the design alternative, but I don't really think so. This is more fun and casual, whilst Naxos is more elevated and elegant. But this is very attractive. It's simplistic, quite linear, but it's nice, strong, really attractive, nicely, smoothly blended vanilla. One of the better scents in the brand, I will put it at number 3. It's a great clubbing scent. I personally don't care about getting a full bottle because I kind of understand what it is. But hey, for most young guys or even older guys who want to go partying, get noticed, get attention, this is a great scent. And then finally, Ultra Male. Again, the maybe older clubbing scent of the brand. A lot of people said this was the clubbing scent. It was always compared to Versace Eros. Versace Eros was more balanced, fresh, whilst Ultra Male was diabetic, all sweet. Ultra Male to me is a little bit outdated, just like Eros in my opinion. I said it, guys, I don't think it's that great. I think it goes too one-dimensional, but I think it's sexy. Some girls who really love super sweet scents will love it. It's kind of a polarizing scent in that way, but it's still a mainstream designer appealing fragrance. So it's bubblegum-esque fruity pear with intense sweet vanilla in here. Very playful, maybe even unisex. I don't think it leans that masculine overall actually, and it still seems to have pretty good performance even in its newer formulations. However, I just can't place it higher than the original Le Male. I feel like the original Le Male has more artistic merits. It just smells more multifaceted. I feel like it's easier to wear. So Ultra Male is nice. Again, if you're a younger guy, you'll probably still get a lot of compliments. You'll turn some heads, but I do think there are better clubbing scents nowadays. My current day alternative to Ultra Male would be Azzaro, the most wanted Parfum. I feel like that's a direct competitor that would take it out, honestly. But hey, number 7 spot, still not bad for Ultra Male. Then we move on to the Scandale line. There was the Eau de Toilette, there's the Parfum, and then there is the new recent Absolu in the gold bottle. The original smelled like a balanced, fresh, woody amber that had a twist of this caramel note in there. And that's pretty much it. I don't think it was a particularly complex fragrance, but it was nice, pleasant, had a good amount of performance, 6 to 8 hours. I actually had a sample of that fragrance, tried it out, you know, I think I gave it maybe 2 wearings, and it was nice. I think it was very pleasant, a very friendly beginner fragrance that you can wear as a signature, I think, day and night, apart from the summertime. So it's sexy, has some balance, it's casual, it's not a serious scent. So if you want a nice casual signature, you're a beginner in fragrances, I think you'll love it. I personally think it's just a little bit boring, and I'm not the biggest fan, but I would still give this an 8 out of 10. I think it's a very nice scent. For me, I think for now, I'm gonna put it in the number 9 spot. And then we have the Scandale Parfum, which to me took away the caramel notes and made it a little bit more deeper, richer, more focused on a clean, woody amber. Really sexy, more handsome in my opinion. It's sort of like the Eau de Toilette grew up a little bit, became a little bit more mature and sophisticated. Again, similar wearability in my opinion, 3 out of 4 seasons as your casual signature. I think it's an attractive fragrance. Again, it's mass appealing designer. It's not the most interesting fragrance in the world. Good performance, I think 8 to 10 hours from what I remember. I used to have a bottle of this, but the fact that I gave it away very quickly after buying it just goes to show it wasn't that interesting. It wasn't that intriguing to me personally as a self-confessing snob in the fragrance realm. So I will say this is better than Eau de Toilette. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm gonna place it in the number 5 spot. I'm starting to see how this list can actually be quite wrong. I'm gonna have to rearrange this definitely. And then finally, we move on to the recent Scandale Absolu, which again, I have a sample of this as well, which I've acquired recently. So this fragrance, if you're looking for a Fragrantica, I think it's a very simple note breakdown. It is that woody amber backbone of the Scandale line. It smells like a flanker, it fits into the line, but sort of like this fragrance mixed with the Stronger With You character, and then also added an interesting plum note in here. It's plummy, woody, ambery, romantic, very sexy as well. Actually, I don't think it's only romantic. I think this could be just a great general evening scent. The scent profile I described there might sound a little bit boring, and you might think this is a little bit underwhelming, forgettable, but actually I don't think so. This is actually a very good flanker. I think this is a great evening scent you can wear 3 out of 4 seasons, excluding the summertime. That is simple, it's fairly linear, it doesn't change a whole lot, it becomes a bit more amber focused, less fruity focused later on. So the plum note does last a good amount of time, it lasts several hours, but overall it's quite a simple fragrance, but just very sexy, very well done. This is a case of where sometimes less is more, and I think they've just done a really good job of blending this fragrance as a mass appealing designer. Out of all the scandals, this to me would be the fragrance I would consider getting a full bottle of. I personally give this a 9 out of 10. I think it's almost perfect. Maybe if the blend just changed a little bit more, but this is a very good scent. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put this in the number 2 rank. I think this is one of the best fragrances in the brand currently. And then going on to the Le Beau line, the summer-focused fresh fragrance line in the brand that revolves around the notes of coconut and tonka bean. So if you start off with the original Le Beau Eau de Toilette, this fragrance gives off that smooth, creamy coconut suntan lotion of combining those 2 notes of coconut and tonka. It is a very smooth, almost minimalist kind of fragrance that's inoffensive. It's just quite close to the skin. I remember getting maybe 6 to 8 hours with a soft projection of this fragrance. It's a nice little pleasant, clean, tropical aura that doesn't offend anyone. To me, it smelled like a more simplified, less interesting Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. So actually, yeah, the fragrance is kind of boring, and I remember just feeling underwhelmed. I think still to this day, it is the weakest out of the Le Beau line. I'm placing it in the number 10 spot. And then we have Le Beau Le Parfum. Finally, the line now has its own character. This is a huge improvement over the Eau de Toilette, more complex, more interesting, has this iconic combination of the sandalwood, the pineapple, iris, the coconut in there, really interesting mixture of notes, creating this very thick tropical signature. You can wear pretty much all year round. Maybe not in the summer daytime, leave it for the summer evenings, but pretty much it's a versatile fragrance. It lasts longer as well, 8 to 10 hours with a medium projection. It's an interesting, youthful, more synthetic signature. So it's a cool scent if you don't mind having a synthetic scent profile. I think it's cool for what it is as a mass appealing designer fragrance. It's not my style, but I will still give it a 9 out of 10. We only have 2 spots here, number 8 and number 4. I'm gonna put this in number 8 just because we're limited for spaces right now, but don't worry guys, we're going to rearrange. And then that leaves the number 4 spot for Le Beau Paradise Garden, the most recent release in the Le Beau flankers. This took a middle ground between the Le Parfum and the Eau de Toilette in terms of freshness. So it's not as light as the Eau de Toilette, but it still isn't as overbearing as the Le Parfum can be sometimes. Paradise Garden gets that nice Goldilocks middle ground that I think makes it my favorite out of the 3. It has interesting notes as well, like fig, some green notes, watery notes in here. It smells more sexy to me than the Le Parfum actually, even though it's probably less complex, because it just gets everything right. The balance is better in this fragrance, and it has a really attractive scent profile. To me, if I'm thinking of spring and summer, this is the fragrance release I recommend for the Jean Paul Gaultier line. This is the best summer release. So yes, it's in the number 4 spots. Okay guys, looking at this list, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of rearranging. Actually, most of it's pretty good. There's just, I think, a few spots in the middle of this list that I would change around a bit. So I would switch 7 and 8 together. I do think Le Beau Le Parfum is better than Ultramal, honestly, because it's just more interesting, more modern, more relevant, more complex, more versatile. And I know you might be wondering, Omar, you gave Le Beau Le Parfum a 9 out of 10, so shouldn't it be really high up in the list? Objectively, it's a 9 out of 10, but it's not quite my style. So subjectively, I'm ranking this list in this way, just what I think of the brand personally, how I would rank them in a very personal way. And actually, one last change. This is the only other change I'm going to do. I'm going to switch place number 5 and place number 6 together. I still think the original Le Mal is definitely better than Scandale Parfum. Scandale Parfum, of course, probably smells a bit more modern, but it's going to be outdated in a few years' time, I think. I'm predicting that. And I think Le Mal is still going to stay a timeless classic. So Le Mal and Scandale Parfum have been switched around. Now, looking at this list, I'm happy with this placement. I think this is fair, and I do think it really does represent how the brand should be ranked. But of course, this is just all my opinion, guys. Maybe you agree or maybe you disagree. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. How would you rank the Jean Paul Gaultier brand? What do you think of the brand in general? Have you been excited by their recent releases? Are there any upcoming new releases that I should go and check out? I'm not sure if they're coming out with anything new quite yet. I'm sure there will be in due time. And remember, guys, I've only ranked the fragrances that are actually alive and in production today. So yes, you're not seeing Le Mal Aviator, you're not gonna see Popeye, no Superman. No guys, there's no Le Mal Essence either, because they are all discontinued as far as I can tell. But I'm sure there's gonna still be people commenting hey, you missed La Mer Essence, you missed Superman. Come on guys, I'm telling you now, you gotta always make sure you watch to the very end of the video when you watch your School of Scents. But hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this ranking video anyways. Let us know your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out that Jean Paul Gaultier buying guide I referenced earlier in the video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.